Hello and welcome to the first episode of the 4-part series called How to Become a Sneaky Editor. This is the first episode, so there may be some mistakes. If you notice any, please leave a comment or send us a message and we will fix them for the following episodes. The target of these videos is to show you how to become a successful Dota video editor. For our first episode, let's look at the two programs we are going to need. The first one is Sony Vegas Pro. Here we do all the editing and composing of a montage. It's where we put together all the scenes and mix them with music and sound effects for the final product. Sony Vegas Pro costs around $600 United States dollars. But there be other ways around this rule. Next, we have fraps. Fraps is used to record in-game footage to later edit in Sony Vegas. Let's look into how fraps is used. For recording, you'll need to go to the Movies tab. Folder to save movies in is the location on your computer where all your footage is saved. Bear in mind that 10 seconds of recording can take up to 1 GB of space. Video capture hotkey is the key you press when you want to start recording. By default, it is F9. Next, we have the FPS option. FPS stands for frames per second. This is a very important part, so it will be good to study it in depth. Generally, the higher the FPS, the better the recording, but bear in mind that if you upload to YouTube, the max allowed FPS will be 30. Also, FPS increases the CPU usage during recording and also increases the file size. Let's just leave it at 30. Sound capture settings enable or disable sound recording. If you want in-game sounds to be heard in your video, leave it enabled. The option lock frame rate while recording is best left disabled. It doesn't actually add much to your video quality and it takes up a lot of CPU usage. Although, if you are certain that your PC can handle it, you may leave it on. Now that we are done with fraps, let us move on to Sony Vegas. This is the main interface. Here, we drop all of our footage and edit it together. So, if I take this orange solid color and drop it in, the preview in the top right corner will go orange. Something you need to consider for future projects is the preview option. If you leave it at best full option, you might lag. So it's better to set it to preview auto option or even lower depending on your machine. Here are the transitions. These are used either at the start or at the end of the video. Observe how one of these transitions is used. I will take one simple fade to black transition and use it. As you can see, the orange in the preview faded slightly from black. The transitions tool is something you'd want to work with a lot in the future because it has a lot of tricks and can generally provide with more viewing pleasure if used correctly. We will talk more about the transitions tool in future episodes. Next we have Video Fix. Video Fix is used to add some effects to your video. For instance, you can add some color or maybe add glow. Now let's record a Dota 2 clip so we can edit it in Sony Vegas. I picked the first live game I find. The yellow numbers in the top left corner is fraps showing me my FPS. Now I'm going to record a short scene so I can edit it later. Keep in mind that while recording your PC will be a bit slower. So you want to close every unnecessary application. Also, if you want to record in-game sounds, then you should close all the other sounds running on your computer, such as music. I press F9 and the numbers at the top left turn from yellow to red. That means that I have started recording. If you lag while recording, then I would suggest lowering the replay speed to 50% and then speeding it up in Sony Vegas. I'll elaborate more on this technique in future episodes. Now let's look at the clip in the folder that we chose to save our recordings in. As you can see, the clip is 6 seconds long and takes up 300 megabytes. Which is kind of impressive because in earlier versions of fraps it used to take up much more space. Now let's drop it into Sony Vegas. A new window will pop up asking if we want to match our video settings with our Sony Vegas settings. Just press OK. Now we can preview our video. The quality is much better, but remember, I chose Preview Auto. Now let's spice things up a bit, shall we? Right-click the clip and go to Pan/Crop. Remove anything unnecessary. There are a couple of options there, so choose Maintain Aspect Ratio and Scale About Center as I am doing. You can zoom in and out while holding Control and using your mouse wheel. You can also save these settings as a preset for later use. Now right-click again and choose Properties. Something very important that you must remember to do is disable resample. I won't explain why, just trust me on this one, you have to do it. Oh, and also unclick Maintain Aspect Ratio. Now, as you can see, our recorded clip is starting to look more like a real Dota video. Now let's add a new transition just to see how it's gonna look. As you could see, it lagged a bit more because I had the preview at best setting. Observe the blur effect at the beginning of the clip. You can also add this effect at the end of the clip. Now let's add some darker colors. I pick one of my presets, and as you can see, the clip is already much darker. Here's one last trick I could show you. Go to File and then Properties. Here you can choose the quality and resolution of your clip. Since I recorded at 1920 by 180 and 30 FPS, I will go for HD 1080i 60i or HDV 1080i 60i. Now go to Audio and tweak the settings a bit. After that, nothing else matters. And the very last thing for today is go to File, Render As, and choose a render setting. And you're done! After that, the agonizing process of rendering the video begins, as you will learn with time. Lots of time. This tutorial was written and made by Sneaky and narrated by Sairex. It's dedicated to all the people that have asked him for help all these years and dropped out because they find it a bit too difficult. We hope that aspiring video makers will find these tutorials helpful, and we also hope that it will inspire people with no prior interest in video editing. Remember to like Sneaky's Facebook page and subscribe to his channel. Also, share this video with your friends. That's it for today. My name's Sairex, and I will see you on the next episode.